Hot diggity dog. All the excitement of Athletes Unlimited has perked up the pups, who were definitely howling yesterday when Sammy Jo Tracy served up this tasty treat. Today, Erica Evans plans to respond with her own spicy deliveries, good as gold. Week 2 barks to a close with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on Bally Sports. Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by EY. Hashtag that's Love Impact Week. Another gorgeous day for lacrosse in Sparks, Maryland. Season 4 of AU Pro Lacrosse hits the midway mark this afternoon on Bally Sports. Today, the team captained by Britt Reed calls out the club drafted by Marie McCool. Here's a bit of background on how this league unfolds. 56 of the players, the best of the world, asking them to compete for one individual champion. 14 players per side, and those teams change every Monday with a captain's draft. These games are action-packed with a very interesting scoring system. In a 4-week run, everybody's going to play in 12 games. So nice to see you again. Alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland, I'm Joe Beninati. We will tag up with our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller, in just a few moments. Court, these two teams have dropped both games this week, so obviously, what's the end goal for them this Sunday?
You know, the biggest thing, you just want to end on a positive note. You want to have that win to your name, but then you want to make sure that you're playing well individually, which then will help the team, because you want to look good for when the draft happens tomorrow. You want to go as soon as possible. Let's move the microscope over this matchup today. And when you think about Team McCool, there's definitely a potential igniter there in Erica Evans. Erica Evans has been benefiting off of the two-player game. She times her cuts just right, slipping into space. She's a lefty. She has a quick and deceptive release. But in the dodging game, she is powerful. Look for her to take it from the top as well. Rookie Erin Kuykendall definitely has the ability to steal the show today for Team Reed. Erin Kuykendall, she's just a rookie, but look at this. She's got a defensive player overplaying her side. She knows the only shot was a behind the back. And then she continues with the flair for the dramatics from her knees, evading two defenders. They're swinging sticks, she's protecting. And then one more time with the behind the back, on the run, slamming on the brakes. Goalie's not even ready. Kylie Ohlmiller is our field reporter, and Kylie's close by for a pregame chat with Erin.
Erin, one of the aspects of your game that I've always loved watching about you is your creativity and the ability to almost slow the game down in your brain before things actually happen. When was that part of your game that developed along your lacrosse journey?
Yeah, I think just my whole lacrosse career, I've been so big on stick work. So I think the more comfortable you are with your stick, the more you can kind of get yourself out of some sticky situations. And so I think just being comfortable with my stick, hitting the wall a ton when I was a kid was like a huge part of my game.
And is that something you still do as a pro?
Yeah, for sure, all the time. I think you can never be good enough with your stick. So
awesome. Can't wait for some more plays just like that one.
Thank you.
Let's balance out the rest of the roster that's going to be dressed in orange today for Team Britt Reed. Reed, the netminder, she'll be backstopping it all. Reed, a medalist in AU Pro Lacrosse past. Kuykendall and Peterson and Sammy Jo, the attack positions. Through the midfield ranks, keep an eye out for 21, Ali Mastriani, who will do a little bit of everything and advance herself up the leaderboard quickly. Defensively, McPherson, Taylor, Colson, and Carr, keeping tabs on Britt Reed as the captain jogs her way towards the goal circle. In advance of this matchup with Team McCool, 14 players per side on the Team McCool roster. Captain Marie runs the midfield. Through the attack, Kent and Black along with Aldave. We've talked about Erica Evans. In the midfield, there are a bunch of spark plugs for Team McCool, most notably Dempsey Arsenault. Defensively at the opposite end of the field, playing in front of the starting netminder, Kaylee Waters. Donovan, along with Wakefield, Bosco, and Ball, a formidable group to protect the keeper, who's backed up by Madison Doucette. We saw Doucette get into some action yesterday. Team Reed in orange. Team McCool in the white jerseys with the gold numbers. This is game 12 of 24. Lynn Bowers, Erica Leslie, Liz Brush, Kim Kramer, and Ronnie Anton are your officials. Team Reed with possession. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. The game is played 10-on-10. From goal line to goal line, it's 80 yards. Peterson back behind the cage for Sammy Joe Tracy. There is a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Mastriani off the split dodge right to left, fires. That's easy pickings for Kaylee Waters. Waters, who turned in a 13-save effort yesterday in a setback to Team Marino. If you're just jumping on board with us today with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, earlier in the afternoon, Team Apuzzo, a perfect week, 3-0. They downed Team Marino 14-10. Sydney Black fires. That's deflected aside by Britt Reed. Reed and her family here early today. Britt only 5 saves yesterday, got some extra work this morning in preparation for today's game. Evans challenged on the outside by Kristen Carr. Another split dodge draws a double, a pass for Black that was overplayed and turned aside by Courtney Taylor. Sydney Black, electrifying first step. There it is. Rips one right to Britt Reed, who sawed all the way into her cross. Outlets right on the money for Lizzie Colson, who will run into a fast break. Colson takes it, feeds, Kuykendall fires. That's stabbed by Waters. Back and forth we go. Marie McCool accelerates inside the 8-meter key all the way to the goal. She scores. The captain says, "Follow me."
A lot of players with their white jerseys looking a little bit different, especially Marie McCool generally elects to wear her hair a little differently. I'm almost thinking, who is this number 4? The long ponytail, she showcases her speed, her athleticism. As she breaks out from the defensive end of the field, she kind of kicks it into another gear.
Captain Marie McCool told me before this game, as you see, like you mentioned, Courtney, most of the players wearing eye black today, switching up a couple of different things about maybe their usual game day rituals. They wanted to change the mojo from Thursday night and Saturday's games and just kind of play with a little bit more fire and a little bit more freedom.
Seems to have worked in the game's first 2 minutes. Whoa, bodies flying. That's Abby Bosco, the Defender of the Year last summer. Abby was a captain in week 1. This is the end of week 2 of 4 in season 4 of AU Pro Lacrosse. Choma, the rookie out of Notre Dame, sweeps back against McCool and delivers for Mastriani. Gilbert subbing in off the sideline, 1 in the orange. On the hop, Sammy Joe Tracy bluffs the pass to the inside. Gilbert with a one-on-one move. Mastriani for 2. That sizzler went wide. You score from outside that 8-meter key. It's 2 points for your team and 16 for your individual leaderboard tally. 1-point goals are worth 12. Peterson going to the cage, defended there, just knocked aside. Sammy Joe Tracy will bring it in off the end line with 10 seconds to shoot. Skip it on through for Gilbert. 5 seconds to shoot. Lauren lost the handle. Choma moves it quickly. Peterson gets clobbered inside, and they allow play to continue. Megan Ball was close by defensively. McCool, does she have a repeat in mind? Already 1 fast break goal. Black says, let's slow it down. Sydney kicks it into gear and looks for Erica Evans, who hails from north of the border. Erica Evans from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada.
I like seeing Trinity McPherson out on the field again. This is game 3, so 3 games over 4 days. Your legs are getting a little bit tired. We didn't see Trinity a lot defensively yesterday, but fresh legs could be a huge advantage.
McPherson, who's a mental health therapist, playing physically today. McCool makes one more look. Nothing there yet for Aldave. Shot clock is now at 10. Sydney Black notices that, working against Courtney Taylor. To the alley, she fires, and Britt Reed is locked in on that lacrosse ball. Her 3rd save in succession. McPherson on the clear. Trinity, a couple of years at Denver after transferring from Johns Hopkins. Kuykendall takes the handoff, and she draws a crowd. Earlier this week, we saw Bosco, 55 in the white, shut down Sam Apuzzo. She's got Kuykendall to start. As you look at the leaderboard with this game beginning, Sam Apuzzo on top, having crested 900 points. Almost 100 ahead of Taylor Marino, whose side she bested earlier today. Kuykendall fidgets inside, waits. Crafty stick work. Choma angles in. Played away by McCool. Shot clock's at 13 for Sammy Jo Tracy in number 13. Feed it inside. Bang, bang play. Score. Choma.
Evening out the score for Team Reed. Sammy Jo Tracy, once she corralled this ball, we see her playing a little bit of a cat and mouse with her defensive player. Her eyes were up the entire time as she swept from one side of X to the other. That's right behind the goal. Choma with a perfect time of the cut, and Sammy Jo putting that ball into space.
A little bit of crisscross action off ball there with Casey Choma, and you saw Amy Moreau was actually open on the backside too. So Sammy Jo Tracy doing a nice job to see one of the two open cutters off of that play.
Choma, 4 times all ACC with Notre Dame, 69 goals her senior year, including an 8 spot against Virginia Tech. Choma assisted by Sammy Jo Tracy, 6 points for every assist. If Sammy Jo just cleans it up a little bit and avoids those turnovers, she too can improve her leaderboard position. She's got the ball a lot in her cross.
You know, a big change this year is the number of points.
Sammy Jo Tracy turns the corner and scores.
Joe, that one was for you.
Right on cue.
Sammy Jo Tracy, first with the assist, now the goal. Anytime you put her around the crease, she is incredibly creative. Team Reed up by 1 goal over McCool here in AU Pro Lacrosse.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is sponsored by EY. Hashtag That's Love, as modeled by one of the captains, Sam Apuzzo, earlier today and throughout this afternoon's festivities. We are celebrating, Courtney, hashtag That's Love, the Impact Day chosen by the Lacrosse Player Executive Committee. It raises awareness around identifying the signs of healthy and unhealthy relationships.
Joe, one of the best parts about AU Pro Lacrosse is a part of the Athletes Causes program. Every player's win bonus, which includes additional donations, 100% of those players' win bonus goes to the cause partner of their choice, and many different causes out there. And I just think the players understand and realize it's more than just playing for themselves.
Not just the players, it's the DJ who recognizes the situation today. Athletes Unlimited they've launched Athletes Causes. We knew this from the very outset, back in the first summer of Athletes Unlimited Sports, that they partner with the Give Lively Foundation, athletes playing for a cause of their choice. And at the end of the season, the Give Lively Foundation makes a grant equal to 50% of the athletes' end-of-season bonus to their nonprofit. It's always amazing what the league does in its charitable endeavors. Megan Ball on the steal. Ball, 4-on-3, move at Aldave. Her pass was fanned upon. Recaptured, though, by Ball at the offensive end of the field. Bumped at the 8-meter key, and then she'll deliver for Erica Evans. We've crossed the midway mark in this opening quarter. There are 20 points available, quarter win points for all 14 players on the roster. When you win a frame, if the score is tied at the end of any quarter, those 20 carry over. It's double the impact for the next quarter. Evans to Black, inside the 8-meter key, with McCool and 15 seconds to shoot. Marie going to the goal. Had that one stopped by Britt Reed, who vacuums it up. Reed has been just about impenetrable at that end of the field in the first quarter with 4 stops. McCool, the only player to beat her. Choma and Tracy after that with goals back-to-back, giving Tim Reed the lead. Moreau opens up at midfield. Marge Donovan there to hawk her. Megan Kinna has been a spark plug offensively this week. 95 in the orange. Multi-goal games in 3 straight for Kinna. Another who hails from north of the border. She's from out in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Kuykendall able to get free, walk in and fire, and that's fenced away. Waters got a chunk of that. Every goalie save worth 4 this season. Sammy Jo Tracy has a goal and an assist in this opening frame. Spins back. Ball has been close by defensively on all of these plays as Kuykendall sent that one wide. Plenty of time for Sammy Jo Tracy on the 60-second shot clock.
And time again, Kaylee Waters coming up big for her team on the defensive end, making some saves that she shouldn't have each and every game. You know, if you can get your keeper to make 1 or 2 of those, and she's making them on consistent basis.
Last game of the week for these teams. That was shuffled in after the fact. There was a crunching hit and a foul inside of the 8-meter key. Player down in need of attention. That's Erin Kuykendall, just now getting assisted back to her feet, as we can share a point of view of that collision.
We see Erin posted up inside, and it's that extension of the arms. Marge Donovan, she arrived there with her feet just in time, but her arms are straight out. She had them in a good athletic position. It's about who initiates the contact, and she was positionally there, but then reaching into that attacker.
So that one's going to count as a goal for Erin Kuykendall because the referees are saying that she released the ball at the same time, simultaneous plays, at the same time as the foul was happening. So that goal will count.
She gets the continuation tally. 3 unanswered for Team Reed. Choma, Tracy, now Kuykendall, back to back to back.
So one more look. Amy Moreau, she makes a living off of essentially embracing this hard, heavy contact and still managing to get a quality shot off. So since her shot went, the foul is not going to count. It was simultaneous.
How many acrobatic plays can Kuykendall make?
Right? She's making a highlight reel of it.
Every day she gives us another morsel of greatness. Her hand-eye coordination, her balance, just fantastic. As Mastriani earns the draw control, feeds ahead, Sammy Jo Tracy walking in. Feeds for Peterson, she buries it. Isabella Peterson, lightning in a bottle there. 2 quick tallies, just 8 seconds apart.
This is domination from the draw. Ali Mastriani just working so hard, showing her athleticism. Sammy Jo Tracy, very unselfish play. She knew the whole time where Isabella Peterson was, and you can see Ali Mastriani tracking the ball, and what I mean by that, her eyes were never taken off of it from the draw. And Sammy Jo, with speed to the goal, vision for the assist.
And we were talking about it in game 1 today, about the hockey assist potentially being a thing, maybe in the future of professional lacrosse for women, but give Ali Mastriani the hockey assist on that one, the imaginary hockey assist, and great eyes there for Sammy Jo Tracy. She threw that to Isabella Peterson without looking. She was looking straight to the end line.
Isabella Peterson, who can practically walk to work nowadays, lists Sparks, Maryland as the hometown, tallies in 5 of her first 6 games as a pro. The quest for those 20 quarter win points heavily now in favor of Team Reed in the orange with 90 seconds left. 4 10-minute quarters in AU Pro Lacrosse. Marie McCool got the game off to a swift start for her team, but since then, Team Reed has punched back. Moreau with a caused turnover. That's worth 10 for your individual leaderboard, but then it bounces right back and gives possession to Team McCool.
So Marie McCool, captain who lost the ball, battled to get it back, and then a ground ball pickup for Sydney.
Evans from the angle, save again for Britt Reed. Reed has already equaled yesterday's save total in the first 9 minutes today.
You know, that was an odd game for her to walk away from a game and have less than a 30% save percentage. It's not telling of the type of goalkeeper that Britt Reed is.
In the 4 summers we've come to know Britt, there's no player in the league who has more stat points than she does. Sammy Jo Tracy calmly now, with the shot clock turned off, will take the final possession for her side. 20 points waiting to be banked for everybody in orange by winning this first quarter. Kuykendall had a hand in it, playing the 2-person game. Backs away from ball, redodges, gets underneath, and scores again. Erin Kuykendall, not to be stopped.
She's sneaky. Her eyes are up. She's looking like she can take an outside shot. She's looking, I'm gonna potentially feed it to someone. She's always scanning the field. So we see her protection. She's running away from that defensive pressure, protecting through the stick checks. She's baiting the defense.
Ladies, I'm gonna give you, Kylie, I'm gonna give you the quarter to think about it, the quarter break to think about it. Who's the player in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse history that Kuykendall reminds you of the most? And we'll get into that once the second quarter unfolds. Just 5 seconds left. Kuykendall, her handiwork extraordinary around the net. Such a good finisher, very clever. Mastriani gets a draw control. Just about everything went Team Reed's way in the opening 10 minutes. They down Team McCool 5-1 to win the quarter points. The netminder had a big hand in it as she was super sharp. Hashtag that's love, an impact week for us with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Back with quarter 2 in a second. An impressive last 8 minutes of the opening quarter. 5 unanswered goals for Team Reed. They're in command in this matchup against Team McCool. Game 12 of 24 this season, the 4th with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by EY today on Valley Sports. Chosen by the Lacrosse Player Executive Committee, #That'sLove. It's an impact week exploring the beauty, the complexity, and the nuances of what love means to the players. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor, Kylie Ohlmiller, chair chatting now with Allie Kennedy and Taylor Marino. Ladies, you wore the t-shirts all day, you're wearing them now. What does the expression #That'sLove mean to you?
I think that's love goes hand in hand with the part of one love that is opposite of that's not love. I'm just bringing light and attention to the things and the beauty that come with loving yourself, loving your partner, and loving your friends, and all the positivity that comes with it.
Well said.
Thanks.
Each of you have your respective causes that you're playing for as well. Can you guys talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm playing for Morgan's Message, which is centered around mental health, and we're in such a unique position with the sport that we play that we get to be so close to Morgan's memory and what she stands for. And I think just remembering to kind of check on your friends, check on your family, check on your loved ones, because mental health is not always shown outwardly. It's definitely an internal battle, and sometimes you never know what people are going through. So just trying to bring some attention to that and playing for them.
Yeah, I have the privilege of playing for One Love. I also had the privilege of coaching with Julie Myers last year, who's now the CEO of One Love, and getting to know the story through her eyes, because she was the coach when Yardley Love was tragically murdered by her ex-boyfriend George, and getting to know the program, the story behind it, Yardley's family, but also it's a great thing to do to spread awareness of those signs of unhealthy relationships through all ages, because the more you're aware of it, the more you're able to step in and recognize within your own relationship as well.
Terrific goal there inside the key, spilling and spinning to the cage. Isabella Peterson continues to run roughshod with Team Reed over Team McCool.
Isabella Peterson, so lethal in and around that goal cage. Allie Mastriani dishing it back to her. 2-player game. I like to see her spinning action again. As she's fallen to the ground, that doesn't stop her.
And that extra topside pressure there you saw from the sliding defender out of the 2-player game, that's what allowed her to see that inside roll. We haven't seen much of it from some of these offensive players, so for her to take that next step and see that next level play, that's big.
Peterson has been a multi-goal scoring machine since she has turned pro from James Madison. The hits keep coming for Team Reed.
Taylor, as a goalkeeper, what makes making a save like that point blank so hard?
Well, obviously the chaoticness of everything that's happening in front of you makes it a little harder to track the ball, but I think the big thing is just kind of staying, balanced and composed and kind of locked onto the ball at all moments. But yeah, those are definitely tough ones.
Our chair chat continues. Taylor Marino to the left, Allie Kennedy to the right. Allie, earlier today, Team Apuzzo takes down Team Marino. You've been a part of a bunch of those head-to-head matchups between Sam and Taylor. They are the marquee matchups in this league. What's it like? What can you feel from those games with the top players showing off?
Oh, it's not only so intense, but it feels just so personal than the other 2 games of the weekend. I mean, it's unreal to see 2 competitors at the highest level go head-to-head constantly, and for them to be at the top of their game year in and year out. Like, I find myself in awe watching Sam make plays on the draw circle, and then obviously Taylor making saves in the cage is just always eye-opening. But yeah, it's a different level of personal out there.
Nice face dodge and finish. Sydney Black ends the run.
Team McCool, first goal of the game. This is now their 2nd here in the 2nd quarter. As we take a peek back, Sydney Black, number 1-5 in the white jersey. She's working a little bit low from her teammate, Andy Aldave. Decides to pop out, and her quick movement, we see her bring the stick across her face. soon as she catches the ball, doesn't give herself a lot of time, acts like she's gonna wind up and shoot, maybe feed it, and instead accelerates to the cage.
Athleticism and speed on display for Sydney Black in her first 2 weeks of her professional career. Taylor, Allie, coming back to you guys, we talked a little bit about playing for your causes, your own respective causes. What kind of extra element does that bring to when you're playing, knowing that you're not just playing for yourselves or for your team, but also for those causes?
Yeah, I think it's huge. It just adds another layer to what it means to be a professional lacrosse player. Like you said, kind of not necessarily just playing for yourself and obviously playing for the points, but playing for your team and playing for your cause. And I think it's a great platform that we have to kind of project them and use our voice to bring awareness to them, since I feel like we're in such great positions to do so.
I think specifically Athletes Unlimited across all sports does a great job of allowing athletes to use their voice and their platform way more. Like Taylor said, it just gives us a bigger reason outside of our team to speak and buy into something that we truly believe in.
Ladies, we sure do appreciate the insights. Thanks very much for spending some time with us. Get some sunscreen on. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks, guys.
See you for the draft tomorrow, in fact. Isabella Peterson now has the hat trick. She's made it a 7-2 lead for Team Reed.
And we're still early in the second quarter. Sammy Jo Tracy with a nice little flip. Isabella Peterson liking this matchup. We see a few quick little stutters. You want to get your defender on their heels. As soon as you do that, you then are re-attacking. And she took that inside roll. Isabella Peterson is feeling herself.
Peterson, who had a first career hat trick against Team Bosco last week, bags another 3-goal performance. And we are miles away from the end of the opening half in what is a one-sided game, a 5-1 lead for Team Reed, winning the 20 quarter points available in quarter number 1. They also have the lead now early in the second frame. Kinna has the ball. It's been a whole lot of Team Reed in possession. Peterson fires. That one's over top of Kaylee Waters in the nets. Our thanks again to Taylor Marino and Allie Kennedy for joining us for that chair chat. Another impact week for AU Pro Lacrosse, a chance for the athletes and players to highlight specific causes, partnerships. Hashtag That's Love this week. Marie McCool whirling out of pressure. Trail check there. Sammy Jo fires, stopped by Waters, rebound, score! Another dunk inside for Kuykendall.
Erin Kuykendall, this is her 3rd goal of the game. Little tough feed inside. Marie McCool coming up with it. Wasn't sprinting out like we would normally see her do this. Kaylee Waters with a big save, and then picking up the trash off that rebound. Erin Kuykendall for her 3rd of the game.
Couple of markers for Team Reed in a little bit less than a minute's time. The onslaught continues as the ladies get some sunscreen, sun shield here in Sparks. 8 of the last 9 points on the board belong to Team Reed, as we apologize for some technical difficulties. Good to have you back with us at USA Lacrosse HQ here in Sparks, Maryland. We're on Bally Sports, Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, presented by EY. An impact week for AU Pro Lacrosse. Hashtag That's Love, as chosen by the Lacrosse Player Executive Committee. Here with Athletes Unlimited, the players are empowered as leaders and decision makers. We're getting set to get back to the draw. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor, Kylie Oldmiller, with a tip of the cap to all the men and women in our technical crew for all their efforts. We're almost 3 minutes into the second quarter. A game that has been dominated, Courtney, by Team Reed, almost cover to cover.
You know, I think back to our earlier game of Team Marino to Team Apuzzo. Apuzzo ran away with the early lead in the first and second quarters, and then flipped the script come the second half, quarter 3 and 4. So maybe the same thing could be happening here. Draw
control has been a major factor to this point, as McCool gets that one, just the second out of 12. Team Reed has won 10 of the 12 draws to this point. A chance now for Erica Evans to sink her teeth into some offensive play with Dempsey Arsenault. Arsenault against Amy Moreau at the 8-meter key. Score from outside of that, you get 2 for the team and 16 for yourself. Sydney Black has one of the 2 tallies for the team dressed in white with the goal numbers. Sydney looking to shake free from Courtney Taylor. No easy assignment. Goes into the split dodge from left to right. Black with a long-range drive. She scores! That one found a home. Second on the day for Sydney Black.
A little shake and bake for 1-5 in white. Curious to see as we take a look at this where she was. She's outside of that 2-point line. Is she sizing up the D? Captain Marie McCool coming on over, setting a pick for her. Looks like she had a step inside. So this is just gonna be a 1-point goal, but nevertheless speedy.
Very, very speedy off the dodge, and you saw that switch of the defenders as Captain Marie McCool came over to set that pick there. So she just had that extra step as she came off of that pick to release her hands nice and low for that low to far low corner shot.
Sydney Black, hands on hips, soon to get back to work. In an 8-3 game, the second quarter alone now favoring Reed by a 3-2 margin. There are 20 points available to everybody on the roster when you win a quarter. 56 players here in residence in Sparks, Maryland, with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, aiming to crown just one champion. We'll do that with you on August 11th. Once this game is through today, we'll be at the midway mark of the regular season. We'll have the top 4 on the leaderboard be drafting new teams tomorrow. You can see that at 7 Eastern on YouTube. Kylie Oldmiller and Maria Tribal Peace will be your hosts. Mastriani brings it along. Allie wanting to get her shooting stick after subbing out her draw stick. Just past the 4-minute mark in the second on a sun-kissed day. Temperatures in the upper 80s. Beautiful weekend we've had here in Sparks, Maryland. Gilbert sizzled that one wide of Waters, backed up on the end line by Sammy Jo Tracy. She'll angle in against the rookie Megan Ball. Sammy Jo makes the feed to Kuykendall, just out of reach, but it deflects in. Good fortune for Team Reed.
A miscue on the feed from Team Reed, but yet they still managed to score a goal off of it. See Sammy Jo Tracy with the ball behind the cage. Look at inside. She's trying to hit Erin Kuykendall. And as both Waters and Wakefield are going for this ball, Wakefield just accidentally did an own goal. You got to forget about that at this point. Be a goldfish, move on to the next play. You can't dwell.
It looks as if Sammy Jo Tracy and Erin Kuykendall have really created a nice connection on the field. They're seeing each other out of the corners of their eyes, and you can see them kind of chatting on the restraining line right now about some of the different things that they can do on the offensive end.
In-house, they've given the goal to Kuykendall. That may be changed before too long. Caroline Wakefield, and I say this kiddingly, she told us at the outset of the season, you know, I want to score more. I want to be more. Well, oops, not that way. Not that way, 2-3. Folks, the AU Pro Sports shop is now on Instagram. Best way to stay up to date on the new arrivals, limited edition items, and the exclusive merchandise offering. Head to @AU Pro Shop to follow and connect. Marie McCool spins for Sydney Black. Evans sweeping from the top. Once more to Black behind the cage with 22 seconds to shoot. A little bit less than 5 minutes separating us from halftime festivities. Black fidgeting loose. Work it outside to McCool. McPherson spying on her. McCool, neat move. Rips it right on. Reed makes another save. Long rebound to Aldave after Reed banks her 6th stop of the afternoon. Kenzie Kent out there 10 in the white and gold. Dempsey Arsenal as well working against her Team USA mate Ali Mastriani. Scores! Arsenal with a well-placed left-handed shot.
Watching Arsenal and Mastriani matched up against one another, two super athletic midfielders who do all of the dirty work all over the field. From win and draw controls to causing turnovers. This time Dempsey Arsenal called her own number. Up against Ali Mastriani, no slides coming anytime early. We saw Lizzie Colson a little bit late. So Dempsey taking that left alley, getting her hands free, finishing tight.
Dempsey is really good when she gets to that left hand. Even though it's technically her non-dominant hand, she's very good at getting to the alley, getting a step on her defender. I think she's done a little bit of kind of trying to roll back to her right so far this season. So for her to trust that left hand and just let it fly there, that probably feels really good.
Tells us she's been doing a little bit more yoga nowadays out in California. 9-4, favor of Team Reed.
Yoga and wall ball sessions overlooking the ocean.
It's good for your mental outlook. Staring out at the mighty Pacific.
You know, so many players, once they graduate, obviously she had a stellar career at BC, but electing to move out west, help grow the game, whether it's in California, Colorado, Arizona, those West Coast states are just waiting to get that good education from a lot of these young top players.
Sammy Jo Tracy's pass for Moreau, backed up there by Peterson. Isabella already with a hat trick in this opening half of play. Gilbert on the run. Sammy Jo Tracy's had the ball in her cross a lot. Mastriani overplayed there on the outside. Peterson spins to the interior, and Waters makes a flashy looking save. Kaylee Waters with 5, 13 and 10 in her first 2 games of the week. 0-2 Team McCool against 0-2 Team Reed. Earlier today, Team Apuzzo finished up week 2 with a 3-0 mark. They were victorious over Team Marino 14-10. Sam Geyer's back with 4 goals in that one. Izzy Skane had 3. Quick pass inside, gets away from Evans. It's backed up by Black. Sydney looking to go against Lizzie Colson. Here comes the help from Taylor. A bounce shot that Reed denies. And then she'll slam her cross down on it in the goal circle. Loop one away for Taylor. She'll take it in stride. Sydney Black so quick to get back on the redefend there. Gilbert picks up a ground ball. All these points matter, adding up on the leaderboard. Once we're through with this game, once we're done with the MVP voting and the appeals process, 4 captains will draft tomorrow. Kylie Oldmiller and Maria Tribalpiece will be the host. You can see that 7 Eastern on YouTube. Sam Apuzzo for the moment at 9:05, setting the pace. Choma, sharp angle, hawked by the defender, Megan Ball. Ball and Bosco, Wakefield and Donovan defending in front of Waters. skip to Kinna. Thought about the 2. Then fires off the inside of the post. Wakefield's going to run this down. Caroline has it with numbers. It's McCool, 4-on-3 fast break. McCool for Black. Black for Aldave, and she'll finish. Andy Aldave.
Excellent transition for Team McCool. Got to thank the post for this save right here, popping out pretty far. Wakefield coming up with it, and she is off to the races. Getting it into the hands of her captain, Marie McCool, a lot of space in front of her. She gets it to Sydney Black, to Aldave. Picture perfect fast break.
A textbook fast break, like you said, Courtney. Pushing the ball up the field, and what I love about what Marie McCool did there is she waited till the last possible second to draw the slide of the highest defender and then pass it over to Sydney Black on the elbow.
Aldave, as a result, on the business end, gets her 4th tally of the season. Goals in 4 of the last 5 for Andy, and more importantly, team-wide, Team McCool and Team Reed are deadlocked 4-4 in the second quarter. There are 82 seconds left in that frame. Whoever wins the quarter gets 20 points for their team. There's a challenge coming up here, we understand. Official Lynn Bowers informing the crowd at USA Lacrosse headquarters.
Referees are taking a look at the challenge called by Team Reed defender Cookie Carr, number 83 in orange, called to have gotten hit on that last shot. So they're challenging for a dangerous shot on that last shot.
Officials will take their look. We will offer this point of view. Aldave's finish. You see the reaction there from Cookie Carr. They're going to count it. Despite Carr jumping rope there after she got hit low on the follow-through of Aldave, Andy's goal stands, and we are 4-4 in the second quarter, 9-5 overall for Team Reed.
So when those calls get confirmed, the way that they are seen on the field after a challenge or an official's review like that, it's due to the fact that the video footage that the referees can see, if they can't see a good angle at the replay of it to overturn the call that was called on the field, then they will just confirm the original call on the field. So I'm assuming that's what happened there.
That's the voice of our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller. Kylie, despite not playing this season in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, she played in the first 3 years. She is on the rules working committee, often in conversation with our officials and members of the committee, both the rules working and player executive. Marie McCool comes out of there with a ball. She too is on that group of players working to make the game safer and show it off to its best degree. We have 60 seconds left in the quarter. Now a chance for Team McCool to win the frame. If it's tied, those 20 will roll over. The third will be worth 40. Sydney Black doesn't want to hear any of that. She wants her hat-trick goal now as she works in against Courtney Taylor. Beats her to the inside. Did not convert, though. Challenging as always. Reed is quick to step out on the angle. Britt fenced in by Evans on this ride and clear. 28 seconds left. Reed running for cover. And a timeout has been called by Britt Reed facilitator Catherine Conway.
And a helpful timeout that was. Britt Reed was being hounded by 2 attackers for Team McCool, riding hard. But I'm not sure if they had another timeout to take at this point. She's saying the timeout had been used. So the ball is going back to Team McCool, which is huge. So as of now, it's still deadlocked 4-4 in the second quarter.
Catherine Conway out on the field, as you can tell. Conversation there with the officials. All of this with 25.3 to go in the half. Sticking up. Starting the play back with Sydney Black in possession. 15 ticks left. Black on the go. Taylor forces her outside the key. Time down to 7. McCool peering inside. Nothing there. McCool floats it over the top, nobody home. So as a result, the second quarter points will carry over. 4-4, the third quarter is worth 40. Coming up between quarters 2 and 3, special feature on Britt Reed and her family. We'll also take a look at the special relationship between Taylor Marino and Allie Kennedy, who are kind enough to join us earlier today for a chair chat. All that and more, highlights and stats coming up, chock full of good things at the break.
Joe, what an exciting end to that second quarter. I'm not quite sure that Team McCool knew how much time was left on the clock.
Off we go. Halftime begins. Kylie Oldmiller and Isabella Peterson.
Isabella, you're having a great day. You really are. Getting to the cage on a bunch of different ways. Looks like Team Reed is really gelling well on this Sunday. What goes into that?
I think something that we talked about before the game and after the past 2 games is like getting up for the little plays and supporting each other all over the field. And I think that's what we're doing today, and it's really contributing to our success and my success as well.
I love that. What has been some of the advice you've gotten from some of the veterans coming in as the first year as a pro?
I would say like on the offensive end, it's like just let the game come to you, let it flow, and just have each other's backs, I think, are like some of the main things that people have talked to me about.
It's showing. Keep it up in the second half.
Thank you.
Taking lessons, Isabella, perhaps from Kylie on the eye black there. As we are halfway home in this game, Britt Reed jumping into the lead with her team. Stick around, we get big help from our content team. Great stories ahead at the half. Half the race has been run today at USA Lacrosse headquarters on Bally Sports. Team Reed and Team McCool, they have their feet up resting before quarter number 3 begins. Today we are celebrating #That'sLove, an impact day chosen by the Lacrosse Player Executive Committee to raise awareness around identifying the signs of healthy and unhealthy relationships. Team captain goalkeeper Britt Reed is blessed to be in an extremely healthy relationship, one that's led to a beautiful baby boy.
My proudest accomplishment would definitely be becoming a mom to River. It's definitely the biggest and most exciting thing and event in my life. When I hear River's name, I just think about his laugh and how fun it is every day to be his mom and to kind of show him my world, but also see the world from his eyes.
Good feed inside, a better save by Reed.
I think being a professional athlete and a mom is truly a dream come true, and two things that are the perfect match that I'm lucky to have the opportunity to do. I can't imagine life without it because it's two of the best things that have collided and come together. He is going to grow up admiring these women and wanting to be like them, and I think that's really cool. When I hear the name Christy, I definitely automatically think of River. Christy is a facilitator here at Athletes Unlimited, and she is also my wife. It's really cool to be able to play AU with Christy as a facilitator and to have River here with us. It's really a dream come true. I don't think you could put it into words because it's something that I feel like I'm very, very grateful for. It's awesome to see Christy on the sidelines and coaching and doing what she loves while I'm able to still play and do what I love. And then to have our son see all this happening with so many amazing athletes at the same time it really is a dream.
Courtney, Britt had the whole family here early to get a workout in to get ready for her game today.
Yesterday after the game, wondering where River was, and he's in his favorite spot. He's got a stick in his hand. He's in the fun zone at AU Pro Lacrosse throughout the entire game, so watch out for him. They are the cutest family around.
River Reed Foot, a future star, no doubt. Do stay with us. After this TV timeout, we plan to let you know about another healthy partnership, the story of Allie Kennedy and Taylor Marino. Leader in Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, doing her thing. Stay right there. More to come at the half. It's been another fast-paced first half of play with Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse on Valley Sports. Team Reed and Team McCool are enjoying a little break before settling in for the second half. Today we are celebrating #That'sLove. AU Pro Lacrosse stars Taylor Marino and Allie Kennedy are fortunate to share a great relationship as life partners and pro athletes.
A lot comes to mind when you say Taylor Marino. My best friend, dog mom, champion, winner in everything that she does. My life partner that I do everyday things with.
When you say the name Allie Kennedy, what comes to mind would be resilience. She's also someone who is probably one of the most caring, thoughtful, genuine, funniest humans I've ever met.
She means everything to me off the field. On the field, she's a stud. She is the best of the best goalie in the world. I'm on her team. If I'm not on her team, I'm in some trouble, that's for sure.
Kennedy speeds into this rush, lets it go, and scores!
Playing against each other, I can just patiently stare and watch her barreling full speed down the field on a breakaway, and I'm like, this ball is about to be shot so hard, I hope it doesn't hit me. That is quite the intimidating moment, watching her come full speed like a rocket down the field. It's just a very supportive environment in the sense that we get to really go through it and embrace it together, and we both get to be our own professional athletes while at the same time we get to look to each other and lean on each other to try to just play our best.
Those two, Taylor and Allie, teammates each of the first 2 weeks of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. 9-5 for Team Reed at the break. Courtney joins me on the other side. We have highlights. Flags are flying over USA Lacrosse headquarters. Team McCool fighting back. At one point they were down 8-2 to Team Reed. We played 20 minutes with a team dressed in orange on top by 4. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Courtney, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Court, when you watched over those first 20 minutes today, what stood out to you?
You know, I think the biggest part is taking care of the ball on the offensive end of the field. You want to make sure to finish your shot selections because they're few and far between.
Game started out really well for Team McCool. The highlights will show that. Marie McCool, the captain, setting the pace in the game's first 80 seconds.
Marie McCool is such a competitor. I like to watch her off the draw, especially showcasing her speed, her athleticism, just that pure determination. And then Sydney Black, she's a rookie, but she is quick. She's fiery, she's explosive, coming out of the dodge.
Team Reed, after the McCool early strike, put 6 in a row on the board.
Erin Kuykendall, she is sneaky. She just finds a way to get to goal, and she picks up the trash sometimes, and this is a perfect situation. She puts herself in the right spot, right time, and then another rookie, Isabella Peterson. She sees what you're taking away, and then she takes advantage of what's left. She uses her height, her size to her advantage. She's pretty shifty. Again, 6 feet tall, a huge advantage for her.
Overall numbers favoring Team Reed by the 9-5 margin. Some of the other stats that we can break out for you.
A big difference in the shots being taken. Obviously, 20-13 in favor of Team Reed. It's a difference maker in scoring goals. Turnovers, surprisingly, McCool has less turnovers, but again, they have to generate more shots. And then the biggest difference, if you're not winning the draw, you don't have the ball, then you can't score.
This is the last half of week 2 of 4 this summer. It's an impact week. Hashtag That's Love, chosen by the Lacrosse PEC. Hashtag That's Love, exploring the beauty, complexity, and nuances of what love means to the players. On another Sunsplash day at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. The leaderboard up to the moment. Sam Apuzzo victorious earlier. You see the colors next to the names. The uniform colors of this particular week. They could very well change. The draft tomorrow. The top 4 on the leaderboard will be the new captains. Megan Kinna on the go. Kinna off the flip. Mastriani with those long strides. She scores. Ali Mastriani.
Ali Mastriani, another one of those true two-way midfielders. She is such a smooth dodger. She gets her stride going. Ali's about 5'10", and with those strides, she gains a little bit of space each and every step.
I like the flip there from Kinna. She saw herself as she swept across to her right hand. She saw herself drawing into a couple of defenders. So for her to kind of just post up there and then flip the ball out into space for Ali Mastriani to run onto, that's a nice play.
That's the voice of our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller, who knows this fact about Ali Mastriani very well. Ali, a Team USA player in both field, sixes, and box lacrosse. Draw control points earned by Andy Aldave as Team McCool is in the white with the gold numerals. Being doubled up at the moment by Team Reed. Both of these squads suffered setbacks on Thursday and Saturday. Team Reed fell to Marino and Apuzzo. Team McCool falling to Apuzzo and Marino just the same in reverse order. Erica Evans getting to the interior on Kristen Carr. Makes the flip for Arsenal. Ball down. Evans will come up with it. Peeking to the interior on Moreau and sending it wide of Reed, who went to a half split. Good hustle on the end line. That's Lizzie Colson, as usual, with a cause turnover points. On a missed shot in lacrosse, closest to the ball where and when it leaves the playing surface, gets possession.
And a super heads-up play, because there were actually 2 McCool players behind the goal, both Marie McCool and Kenzie Kent. Yet Lizzie Colson timed that run out just right to get possession for her team as well as a cause turnover.
Inside Kuykendall, off the outside of the post. That one rattles around and out. Kaylee Waters still in the cage for Marie McCool's squad. Megan Ball has 20 seconds to clear. Oops. That passes over the head of Caroline Wakefield. From the promo department, you're invited to experience AU Pro Lacrosse in person right here in Sparks, Maryland. Thursday is Pop Music Night coming up, featuring an AU Friendship Bracelet giveaway for the first 250 fans. Go to auprolacrosse.com and get your tickets today. Joe and Courtney up top. Kylie field level as we are into the third quarter of this game 12. Shouting out thanks for all the men and women in our technical crew. Waters with a sturdy stop there on Moreau. And it's Megan Ball who finds a lot of ground balls these days. She gave it up though, didn't get across the midline. Strong ride there and redefend by Team Reed. Wide open Peterson, feed to Sammy Jo Tracy. Beautiful tic-tac-toe.
Team Reed battling to get this ball back in transition. Megan Ball just slowing her feet down. Potentially, I think a foul could have been called on that check from Sammy Jo Tracy, but Erin Kuykendall, Peterson, Sammy Jo Tracy getting herself into position. This is very unselfish play. It's hard to defend when the ball is moving quick.
And Erin Kuykendall could have hit Sammy Jo Tracy on the first cut, but I like that she skipped the ball over to Peterson for almost a better look at Sammy Jo as she was right on the crease. It also got the defense turning around.
Sammy Jo, 2 times a national champion during her collegiate days at North Carolina. She has goals in 4 straight games, including a couple of markers this afternoon. Back to a 6-goal advantage, 6-point advantage for the team dressed in orange. Reminder, 20 points available for every quarter in Athletes Unlimited. And since the second quarter was tied up 4 apiece, this third frame is worth 40 for everybody on the roster. Right now, Team Reed's in control. Sammy Jo Tracy looking to give Team Reed its largest lead on the day this trip, should they convert. Almost halfway through the 60-second shot clock. Isabella Peterson going to the cage. That pass is too tall for her. Abby Bosco has it in her cross. Bosco will advance along with Megan Ball into the offensive end.
Bosco, the birthday girl.
Yay! Abby, a season ago, outstanding. The first Athletes Unlimited defender to ever medal. This is a 4th summer of play. Midfielder Taylor Cummings was the initial champion. Taylor Marino each of the last 2 years as Black sends one high. Backing up there, Sierra Cockrell. Off of this roll dodge, Cockrell lost the handle. Help from Kenzie Kent, little flick to Marie McCool. That's a tough catch for Dempsey Arsenal. The officials allowing the play to continue, and McPherson, who has sprinter speed, she's gone into the attack territory. McPherson for Sammy Jo Tracy, handcuffed her a little bit. Sammy Jo, gorgeous moves, and scores! The hat trick in expert fashion.
Sammy Jo Tracy with back-to-back goals. No foul is called for Team McCool, and Trinity McPherson off to the races. She is starting the fast break situation. Sammy Jo Tracy corralling that ball in, protecting, splitting 2 defensive players. A nice little turnout as she has back-to-back goals here in the third.
We always note how Sammy Jo Tracy has incredible stick work and is one for the theatrics when it comes to the fancy stuff and the fancy finishes. But something she really prides herself in is going after those ground ball battles and picking them up, whether she has 1 or 2 hands on her stick, as we just saw there.
Sammy Jo Tracy converting after number 14 in the orange there. Trinity McPherson, good luck catching her. Trinity, born in South Africa, a 100, 200, and 400 meter champion in high school. She went to high school in the Philippines. McPherson, 2 years at Denver after transferring from Johns Hopkins, the former Big East Defender of the Year, helping out offensively there, and to the tune of a 12-5 advantage for Team Reed.
A great pickup for Bosco. We see a lot of contact on her shoulders, near her head, big swings. This is a timeout call, though. There were no fouls that the referee calls on the field in that instance.
With a timeout, we can take a moment, too, to reset. 5 minutes left, halfway through the third, with Team Reed in charge.
Let's go. Here we go. Hey, let's go. Do you. Let's go. Low, low, through. I'm going in front. X, speed. I don't even care about the score. Like, no matter what the score is, keep having each other's backs like this. It's awesome.
Where's ball? Watch, stay on. I'm feeling a little bit of a comeback though. Come on, we need some. I just want to go crazy.
Go crazy.
Not on you, just. Let's go! Cheers, you guys.
Good job.
That's all you.
One at a time.
Caroline Wakefield wants crazy. Perhaps a 7-point comeback would be just that. As we went into the game with the U.S. Air Force, our thanks to both Britt Reed and Caroline Wakefield for wearing the mic for us in this one this afternoon. Team McCool's in the white with the gold numbers. Marie McCool started the scoring today. Since then, Team Reed's had the upper hand. Sammy Jo Tracy having an outstanding game. Sammy Jo, a New York native. There are 15 different players in Athletes Unlimited who hail from the state of New York. These games are airing on MSG Network in the New York area. As Kenzie Kent has control, there's going to be a whistle here for a Wallen call.
The call is going to be on Lizzie Colson down low. She wasn't matching up on anybody, and she was near that restricted area. You don't exactly have to be right in it, so it was not on Kristen Carr.
Kent had that deflected, backed up on the end line by Erica Evans. Just a shade more than 4 minutes with which to work in the third quarter. Team Reed in the orange comfortably ahead. McCool marked by Moreau. Marie gets inside. Reed was right there on the angle. She had that short side covered. Another save for Britt Reed. Reed on the day with 8 of them. And for every stop, the goalies will pick up 4 points on their leaderboard total. Once we're through with the MVP voting for this game and the appeals process, we'll have 4 captains drafting tomorrow night. You can see that on YouTube, 7 Eastern. Kylie Oldmiller, Maria Tribal-Peace will be your hosts. Kuykendall on a pass for Sammy Jo Tracy, or rather Lauren Gilbert wearing number 1. Peterson this way to Moreau. Off the roll dodge, she'll flip. Mastriani closing, firing, deflected aside by Waters, backed up by Sammy Jo Tracy with 13 seconds to shoot. The officials, though, asking for the reset, and they will give Team Reed a new 60-second shot clock.
Kaylee Waters most definitely got a piece of that. Making a save on Ali Mastriani. The two did not ever play together, although Kaylee Waters was an assistant coach when Ali was a player there at UNC.
Sammy Jo Tracy, little hide and seek back behind the goal with the Megan Ball attached. Kuykendall, one of 21 newcomers and rookies. Here's another Peterson who sent it wide. The youngsters injecting new life season after season into Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. Presented today by EY on Bally Sports. Gilbert off the split. Redodge on McCool, who plays excellent defense. Shot clock's at 10. Sammy Jo Tracy outside Mastriani, right at that 8-meter key. Sammy Jo thinks about the 2, plants a foot down, and this is a shot clock violation against Team Reed.
A shot clock violation means a plus 4 for a shot clock violation drawn for everyone in a white jersey, so that's huge. Obviously, the second quarter was tied, so this third quarter, Team Reed is in the lead in order to have that 20-point put over into that third quarter.
Kenzie Kent stops the run, makes it a 12-6 margin, and 3-1 overall in the third.
As if on cue, Team McCool putting a goal on the board after that shot clock violation drawn from the defense. Defense translating into offense. Dempsey Arsenal, she's the one with the vision. Nice little backside cut from Kenzie Kent, finisher in tight.
We've seen Dempsey Arsenal to Kenzie Kent many times back in their collegiate career, through their pro lacrosse career as well. But what I like about this is Kenzie Kent, a lot of times on that backside, when you realize that there's no fast break and the numbers aren't there, sometimes you can have your defenders just take a little breather and kind of relax a bit, and she took advantage of that by cutting over the top.
Former Boston College captain Kenzie Kent with tallies in 5 of her 6 games this season. Colson on the run. Isabella Peterson finds Kuykendall parked behind the goal. 1:35 left in the third. The third quarter points, Courtney mentioned, they're worth 40 with a carryover from the tied second. It's 3-1 for the team in orange at the moment. Erin Kuykendall sightseeing back behind the goal. And now Casey Choma. Choma against Bosco. Mastriani lets it fly, she scores! Ali Mastriani had a foot very close to that 8-meter key line as Team Reed continues to shoot effectively.
The defense is seeming to fall apart just a little bit. You see Bosco on ball with Casey Choma, a lot of pressure being applied to her. And she's pointing. Bosco saying, who is on Ali Mastriani? We can't leave a Team USA player wide open, but I think her big toe was just on that line. As we take a look at another angle, it looks like our first angle we were able to see a little bit more. Nevertheless, it's a goal. One more peek.
You slow it down, it's poetry on that release. The officials confirming it's a 1-point marker. Mastriani with that left foot on the 8-meter key. That scorcher beats Kaylee Waters.
And you see her whole body getting involved. What all does that entail, Kylie?
you have to make sure you put your entire body into the shot. That's how so many of these players can shoot so fast and with so much speed behind the ball, is by stepping into it and really torquing your hips and your torso into the entire follow-through.
Mastriani would prefer to wear number 12. That's her favorite number. She couldn't have it at the beginning of her Athletes Unlimited Pro career, so she just flipped it around and made it 21. 21's on the board with point number 13 for Team Reed. Moreau ran by that one. Bosco bumped down to the turf. They scramble for the loose ball, and Abby comes out of the pack with it on a flip for McCool. Marie McCool jogging in, now accelerates, pumps it off the post. She had Reed beaten, it hit the iron. Moreau gets it back, possession for Team Reed in the final 24 seconds. Strong ride though by Kenzie Kent. She has control for Team McCool. Third quarter points 4-1. Eldave bounces that one wide. McPherson was there to cover the crease. McPherson clears it ahead. Sammy Jo Tracy already with 3 goals and 3 assists, looking for more. Sammy Jo fires at the knees of Waters, who makes the save. That 40-point third quarter belongs to Team Reed. We are 13-6 in favor of Team Reed after 30 minutes of work. We'll get set for the final 10 minutes of regulation with you in just a few moments. Get you back here for more on Bally Sports. Earlier today, Team Marino and Team Apuzzo, it was Katie Glynn, the backstop for the winning entry.
Katie Glynn, ever the defensive stalwart in goal, but the offense for Team Apuzzo, they were on a roll. Sam Geyer's back. So many goals, such ball movement. The sharing of the rock was the name of the game for the team in purple.
Whole lot of heroes on the day, benefiting Captain Sam Apuzzo, who's #1 overall on the leaderboard. Geyer's back with The hat trick +1, 4 goals in fact, as we look at our Game 1 MVPs brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. And as a result of the 4-goal effort, Geyer's back added 45 points to her totals.
Madison Ahern had a breakout game. Obviously, Katie Glynn is always tough in goal, but I think this is probably one of the first times we've seen Sam Apuzzo not being voted in when she was a captain, and she obviously was outstanding as well, but you could have picked a number of players, but these 3 were at the top.
Team Reed earning the third quarter by a 4-1 margin and taking down 40 points. That was the carryover from a deadlocked second frame. In control to start the fourth, and Team Reed earlier in the day was set as the betting line favorite, and they are living up to it, at least through the first 30 minutes here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse presented by EY on Bally Sports. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor, Kylie Ohlmiller, your announced team, as we head for home at the end of week 2 of 4 this summer. Draft day tomorrow at 7 p.m. You see Megan Kinna there. Kinna slipped 14 picks in the draft from week 1 to week 2. I don't think that's going to be happening tomorrow night. Not by the way she's performed this week. Mastriani on the shovel. Kinna thought about it from deep. Likewise, Mastriani getting to the interior. She snapped that one wide of Waters. Taken up off the turf by Abby Bosco. It's Team McCool in the white with the goal numbers on the clear. Megan Ball will advance. Kenzie Kent comes to collect a long way from the cage. See if McCool can chip away. Her gang can chip away at this lengthy disadvantage. Black lets it fly and scores! Sydney Black gets that one to worm through Britt Reed.
And if you can create separation, like Sydney Black, you can create opportunities to score goals. We see defensively, just keep backing up. Courtney Taylor, the more you back up, the more space you're gonna give her to come right at you and then explode after a few quick stutters. That little hitch and take off towards goal is what Sydney's signature move.
And coming right out of those signature moves too, she does a great job at getting her hands back and off her body, ready to shoot. So she takes no more than 2 or 3 steps before she releases that ball.
First career hat trick for Sydney Black. It's her 3rd multi-goal game in a couple of weeks worth of work here at Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse. She's also factored in with a helper today. Sammy Jo Tracy doing a little bit of everything, and in a big way, 13 in the orange, with a 3-goal, 3-assist mark last check. Plus she's been digging in on a lot of draws. Looking for draw control possession. Kicked loose. Lizzie Colson, a magnet for that loose ball. Ground ball and draw control for 25 in the orange as she spots Mastriani on her way to the net. Mastriani with sprinter speed, fouled there. They'll keep possession for Team Reed. Wakefield there to defend on Sammy Jo Tracy. Takes a little detour back behind the goal. Gilbert will get into this dodge on the split. Off the outside of the framework there. Possibly a save credited to Waters. That was near her feet. 2 minutes deep in the 4th. The deficit for Team McCool in white is 6 points. Kuykendall dodging a few defenders. Kinna from long range. That's vacuumed up again as Waters makes the stop. Kaylee backed up by Madison Doucette. Britt Reed backed up by Emily Sterling, a 4-year starter out of Maryland, the goalie stablemate for Britt Reed. Reed has been sound and sharp today. Made sure to get to the park really early with her family, with Christy Foote and her son, River Reed Foote. Colson racing ahead. Peterson took a bump, then spots Kuykendall.
Kylie, you had mentioned earlier in the day, this is day 3. 3 games out of 4 days, just your body is a little bit tired, decision making, and I'd say that last offensive sequence, just the ball popping right out of their stick.
It's one of those things where if your body is tired, you have to take the extra second to kind of slow the game down. Maybe some things that you look to usually do when your feet are fresh, you might not do today.
Waters still looks fresh. She took that one away from Lauren Gilbert. Gilbert trying to beat her downstairs. 6:40 left in regulation time. Team Apuzzo earlier a winner over Team Marino 14-10. We showed you the Game 1 MVPs. Once the MVP voting is done with this matchup, we'll have our 4 captains at the top of the leaderboard for tomorrow's draft. Andy Aldave has been taken number 20 in both drafts so far this season, as Black misses the corner looking for her 4th. McCool, 22 seconds to shoot against McPherson. Here comes help from Kristen Carr. Evans parked back behind the cage, turns the corner, follow-up slammed home. Kenzie Kent at the doorstep.
I like to see Kenzie Kent in and around the crease. She's so slick with her stick, especially with one hand, but we see Erica Evans coming around, and Kenzie Kent, it wasn't even necessarily a quick stick, it was just almost a bat in. She knew that ball was coming out, ever so slightly. She just wanted to tap it in.
I would almost credit Erica Evans with a bounce pass assist on that. I know it was a missed shot, but almost looked like they drew it up that way.
Kenzie Kent using her lacrosse stick like a tennis racket, spiking that one. Kenzie, for all of her terrific work with the assists in the first 4 summers of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, she's right there among the top 4 all-time goal scorers. She bags another one. Assistant coach these days at Harvard. I notice on her record there is a 5-goal game once against Team Marino back 2 summers ago. Kylie Oldmiller, our field reporter, has a few of those, and even one better than that. She shares the single game record, Kylie does, with Charlotte North and with Nicole Levy. 6 tallies in a single game.
Megan Ball with the cause turnover. Both she and Abby Bosco, they were just running that ball down. Amy Moreau had it in her stick, and they decided we're going to create a cause turnover. When you commit to the double team, you got to be in it to win it.
Sydney Black, attacking from the wing, runs by her defender and scores. There are times when she is unstoppable when she steps on the gas.
Again, the defense, credit them with creating this cause turnover. Once they got the ball safely into Sydney Black's stick, you see them clearing a lane. She saw the slide coming. Ali Mastriani was coming from the top side, so Sydney Black said, all right, I can take you underneath.
And those last couple of takes where she's shook free, I should say, of Courtney Taylor, she's gone topside. So to adjust there and get underneath on that one, I don't think Courtney Taylor was expecting that.
In this final frame, fans putting their hands together. Team McCool on a 3-point run. Black with 4 markers, getting hot in the second half. 5:22 left. Team McCool with designs on an incredible comeback. McCool has it. Momentum firmly on the side of the team dressed in the white with the gold numbers. Black going again. That pass will be reeled in by Dempsey Arsenal as we hit the halfway mark of the 4th. Moreau defending on Arsenal, 2-player game. Black on the throwback, Arsenal snapped it wide. McCool there to back it up halfway through the shot clock.
They're playing with a sense of urgency now, McCool and every player in that white jersey.
Marie forced that one into traffic. Aldave trying to come up with a ground ball. So too her captain. But as usual, there's 25. Lizzie Colson, such a sturdy ground ball player. When she's in the vicinity, it's going to be hers as Taylor clears.
Something to note on those ground ball battles that you might be watching. In college and in youth and high school growing up playing lacrosse, there are empty stick checks. Here in AU Pro Lacrosse, there's no such thing as an empty stick check, so those checks can kind of fly here.
Kuykendall spins on ball. Kuykendall throws it into reverse and gets fouled. Kuykendall will have a free position shot. Of all the skill we have seen in the first couple of weeks of Athletes Unlimited, this young lady, this rookie out of Northwestern, might be right there, top of the heap. She has a wicked shot, about to deliver it. Defended well there on the free position as the defenders collapsed upon her, didn't allow her to send that one on the way to the goal. Team McCool in possession, Arsenal for Black. Kenzie Kent will flag this down. 3.5 left in the comeback efforts for the team in white. Oops. Kenzie Kent lost that one on the way to the goal circle. Lizzie Colson will clear, encouraged by Kristen Carr to move it across the midline. Isabella Peterson, who was a driving force in the first half, slowing the tempo now. Call coming up here, a yellow card. They're going to bounce Marie McCool from the playing surface.
I think that was a conversational yellow card. Team
A little
McCool.
verbal? Something verbal,
so.
perhaps?
I believe so. Very, very frustrating on the unevenness of the calls from the referees all weekend long, honestly. But today it's seeming a bit more uneven.
You know, I think what Marie was questioning emphatically was the defense at the opposite end of the field. It seemed like it should have been a walling call, and we've seen more of that occur. That's almost one of those points of emphasis. Again, there's a restricted area for a reason, but when you're taking away a lane to shoot, and it's an obvious one, and the players are pump faking, showing like, I can't take this shot, and then they're stripped of the ball a second later, maybe stripped a little too tough, difficult. Kylie?
Yeah, I can agree with that. From field level, it seems like the frustration is mostly coming from the held checks and the lack thereof on the calls of those.
Team McCool in white still a player down. So working 5 against 6 here. Hannah Dorney jumps in off of the sideline as Kenzie Kent gets the operation underway. 20 seconds to shoot, 2 minutes in the game. Arsenault on the hop. Sydney Black. Will she take it into her own hands? Racing to the cage, swatted aside. Reed with an emphatic save, slamming the door.
An emphatic save and one almost at the top of the crease. These young players, we're in week 2. They got to learn she's going to come out high to take away a lot of that angle.
Tail end of an impact week with Athletes Unlimited. Hashtag that's love. Exploring the beauty, the complexity, the nuances of what love means to the players. Serving as a commitment to show up and stand in love across the many different relationships and roles that they have in their lives. The players entered the playing surface today in the hashtag That's Love t-shirts. It's been top of mind throughout the weekend and especially today for them. Choma's pass to the interior is blocked. Kuykendall with a minute to go. Mastriani lost the handle there. Back comes Arsenal for Team McCool in white. Last 50 seconds. Kenzie Kent maneuvers in against Kristen Carr. Nice little pop pass to the inside. Going to get away from Aldave. She's wrestling with Lizzie Colson. The ball belongs to Team Reed. Team Reed and Team McCool both came in at 0 and 2 today. Britt Reed's squad is 25 seconds away from celebrating. The whole group of athletes, all 56 of them. That 4-week sisterhood. It's usually a pretty fun Sunday night for everyone, and then they get focused upon the draft tomorrow. We'll have 4 captains. Could be new captains. Could be even seeing Charlotte North as a captain. The draft tomorrow, 7 Eastern on YouTube. Peterson spins inside and scores. Icing on the cake.
An exclamation point for Team Reed. Isabella Peterson with yet another goal. And that's become her signature move. That nice little spin action inside, evading the defense.
Well, we have a little bit more work to do, and I mean a very little bit more. After this Peterson tally, we're back after these words. Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse is sponsored by EY. Hashtag That's Love Impact Week. And there's the statue of Yardley Love perched on the hillside here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Courtney, really the perfect home for this bronze. Yardley loved the game so much. Her life was tragically cut short by relationship violence just weeks before her graduation.
You know, an incredible story. Her family obviously wanting to do for relationship violence what Moms Against Drunk Driving did, and it's spreading awareness, educating those around. And look at this draw.
Sure, why not? With 0.5 left. Wait a minute, is that Britt Reed? Britt Reed doesn't need draw control points.
And then we have Doucette.
Against Doucette.
And Kaylee was on the circle. I like it.
Sure, why not? And that'll do it. This one's in the books. 14-9 for Team Reed. And Team Reed taking control of that fourth quarter as well. 20 more points. As Reed gets off the Schneid, we take a look at the leaderboard up to the minute. You'll see a lot of purple and a lot of blue. Those colors, the jersey colors this past week. Charlotte North at the moment looks like she could be slotted in as the number 4 captain. If that holds, it would be the first time in her AU Pro Lacrosse career that she's had captaincy roles. Apuzzo and Marino old hat at it. Allie Kennedy is in that mix just as well. As the Team Reed mates gather round in orange. A decisive 14-9 decision for Britt Reed's bunch. And Courtney, we have a draft tomorrow. Our sideline, our field reporter, Kylie Ohlmiller, will preside over it along with Maria Tribal-Piece. Here's how we get it done. The top 4 are the captains. It's a reverse snake order draft, if you will. So 4th place captain picks first, down to 1, and then the team that will be dressed in white and gold, the #1 overall player on the leaderboard, will have picks 4 and 5 tomorrow.
Right, it snakes back and forth. And what's interesting is you looked at a lot of players on that list, and they were in purple and gold, or excuse me, purple and blue. And they're going to maneuver around because you have to assume they did well on the field. Obviously, you take a look at today's game. You have players like Erin Kuykendall, who's probably going to go early as well, Isabella Peterson. The better you do on the field, the earlier you go in the draft.
Whole bunch of heroes today for Team Reed with a show of good sportsmanship there through the handshake line. We share time, Kylie Ohlmiller with Sammy Jo Tracy.
Sammy Jo, you had a career day today. What was going well between you, Isabella Peterson, and Erin Kuykendall? Looked like a lot of chemistry.
We had a lot of fun together. Sundays are always the best because I think it's all about chemistry. And over the 2 weeks with Erin, I got to really know how she likes to work and how to make her best. And she really popped off this weekend, and so did Isabel.
So did you. And you were playing a traditional kind of like X position, which we really don't see too much here in AU Pro Lacrosse. I know that's where your shiftiness comes in. Can you talk a little bit about what goes through your head when you're game planning?
X is where I feel comfortable at home, and at home at Carolina I played X, and I just dodged hard, and my teammates did the rest of the work, and they made me look good.
Yes, they did, and yes, you did. So great job.
Thank you.
Ladies, we appreciate the input. Sammy Jo's been a winner throughout her 4 seasons of Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse, which continues Thursday at 5 Eastern. Be sure to check out auprolacrosse.com to see where you can watch the game. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for Kylie Ohlmiller, for all the men and women in our technical crew, Joe Beninati, thanking you so much for your time. Sydney Black was extraordinary at moments in this game, but it's Team Reed behind Sammy Jo Tracy that prevails at USA Lacrosse headquarters, 14-9.